Hi again, and welcome to Into the Dark Zone, your weekly digest of everything and anything the Division. This is episode 11, A New Hope, and I'm your host, Champagne. I'm also joined by Crashblade and Spider Monkey.
Morning all.
Good morning.
Remember to tweet us at Into the Dark Zone and ask any questions you may have via the comment section on our Twitch stream, as we will have a questions and answer segment near the end of our show. First up, we have news and events.
Alright, this week we have a short thing on patch notes. They updated the list of daily missions to avoid any potential missing days, which is what they said last week. But this time for real. Please note that the list has been updated on the server only and may not appear updated in the client files. State of the game, we're going to cover most here, and then we'll talk about the loot later. But 1.2 updates. There's no date for it yet, but it is in the testing phase. There's going to be a new daily mission system that will fix the current problem with the missing dailies. Testing is very important to not repeat the 1.1 problems, and that it is rock solid this time. Let's hope that's the case. New Dark Zone 200 bracket for gear score 200 players with higher level enemies and better loot. Dark Zone 200 bracket has the best quality loot and good chance to get 204 items in 240 gear sets. But if this is 1.2, what's the higher? I don't know. I wonder what the loot is in the newer stuff. There's going to be 3 Dark Zone brackets, 160 or below 160, and then between 160 and 200, and then above 200. Dark Zone 200 bracket will only have high-end division tech, so that should be a little easier to get there. Dark Zone 200 bracket will have 32 to 34 NPCs levels. Open World PvE will also get an update with more activities currently unknown. New Dark Zone activities is also still unknown. 1.2 confirmed fixes. We discussed last week. Reckless fixed. One is none is going to be fixed. Mission doors not opening after matchmaking should be fixed. Base of operation wings not activating. Sometimes bug fixes need a client-side update, and while all fixes can be done server-side, are pursued when they are possible. Sometimes it just needs a client-side patch. This is why they put so many fixes in the 1.2 update.
Yeah.
And last bit for the news is the balancing. There's going to be no nerfs, just buffs. That's good. Balance weapon talent is broken. It should only give you a buff when you switch from hipfire to shoulder. We talked about that last week. Right now you get always the balance buff, but this will be fixed. This way it will be most useful with bolt-action rifles. More details are unknown at this point. That's it for the news.
You know, with just a quick note, I didn't know the base of operations, the wings not activating was a thing. I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that one either. But
yeah. And as for the client side patching, I don't know if you guys read this, but I was reading as well that it actually costs money to fix the client side because it has to go through, I guess, Microsoft, PlayStation, or Sony. Yeah, so
it's an actual download update.
Yeah, exactly. So, you got to cram as much as you can in there. Get it right the first time.
When your game's this broken, it's probably worth to spend the money to just get it fixed, in my opinion. Man. But, okay.
You'd think. Yeah. And it's really not our problem that you broke something and it's going to cost you money to fix it. Yeah.
Bite the bullet.
All right. Well, now on to our next segment with the Week in Review.
All right. 1.2 loot. All right. So they made some changes to get people away from crafting, but we know that's only halfway there by increasing the amount of mats that it takes to craft something.
They increased the drops too.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's instead of, they increase the drops. So now, for example, this is all I'm doing now, right? So whenever I'm playing anything that's purple and lower, or superior, let's be technical, superior and lower, I mark and I just sell it. End of story. I don't even bother breaking it down, right?
Right.
Whenever I get high ends, since for the most part they are crap, I break those down and I get the mats for it.
Yep.
Obviously, we don't have the abundance of mats we had before, but you can still, roll a few, let's say, vectors, Augs, or whatever it is that you want to roll. So.
You sure you want to sell those the lower end loots? Because it only takes 999 green crafting items to make 4 high end items.
Only?
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Oh man.
Oh well.
So, anyway, I'm not. That's whatever. That's
Sounds
not a problem.
useful. Yeah.
All right. So the one of the fixes that they came up with the state of the game that we spoke about was them being a bit more generous with loot. So giving you quantity and quality. Now, one thing that stood out to me, and it's funny because right before I got on here, before I got a call up from work, I was actually playing. I was running around in the dark zone. I am level 68 and a half, I think, right now.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, all I'm getting is a bunch of performance mods, and they're saying that they're actually going to replace the drops from performance mods over to weapons.
Okay.
Which is it's a good change.
Just a quick comment. I mean,
Mhm.
you still play a decent amount. And you're only level 68 in the Dark Zone. That scares me. I'm like level
Well,
51, maybe. I hit 50. I feel like that 75 is just so far
It-
up there.
You know what? The thing is that to be honest, to be fair, I really haven't played the Dark Zone a lot. I've
Okay.
been doing whenever I get on, I play with some friends. We've just been doing an incursion here and there. I felt my brother, he's been helping me with my third character, trying to level him up. Sometimes I'll hop on and then I'll just be messing around in the base of operations, clearing out inventory because that's a little mini game on its own. You can spend hours just sorting through crap and just breaking things down. And this week I had a few shots at the challenge mode incursion, so that didn't work out. But we got to wave 10. It was a pug group.
Oh,
We
that's
got to
pretty
wave
good.
10, but I guess we just got a bit too complacent and we just got overrun by shotgunners.
Yep.
Right.
Which is bad. What else? Oh, yeah, here we go. Less gear mod drops. Another thing you mentioned with the DZ brackets. I don't know how I feel about the DZ brackets. I mean, I understand the whole issue with gear score that has to be tweaked a little bit further because gear score as it is really doesn't mean much when there's very little difference between, let's say, a 200 and a 190. There might not be anything. Obviously, if you're running around with a 241, you have a lot better gear. But
Yeah, well, my thought with the brackets was why base it off gear score when you what are the Dark Zone levels for? Besides just buying the loot, but this huge cap that you're trying to get to, because if you've hit Dark Zone 75, then you have the loot to fight other people at Dark Zone 75. So base it off that. And I liked your idea, Julio, of once you hit that, you're at that.
Yeah, we were talking about that right before the show. So what I was thinking was, because the problem with the gear score is that you can be gear score 209, right? And you can be rank zone, Dark Zone rank, level 90. So you've got all the high-end gear that's available to you, and you can basically just steamroll through a lot of people. So one way to solve that problem is, again, the gear score is just something that I don't know, that just has to be tweaked. But if you get in the Dark Zone and just say you have multiple tiers where people can buy weapons, let's say you have a level 30, a level 50, the 75, and 90, or whatever the new one, I think it's 40, whatever the case is. The point being is that once you hit that rank, they should lock you into that rank. By that I mean, let's say from 1 to 30, that should be your bracket. Okay? I guess regardless of gear score, from 1 to 30, that should be your bracket. The gear score should actually determine, in order to fix what they're trying to do, should determine the level of the enemies. See where I'm getting at? So if you're a low gear score, and let's say you get level 30 enemies from 1 to 161 or whatever, it's level 30 enemies from 20, let's say from 200 to 214, it'll be level 31s from 214 to whatever the new number is, or 191, for example. And then from 192 to 214, it'll be 32s. Then do any 200 pluses or 214 plus, there'll be 33s and 34s, something like that. You see?
Yeah, well, how would they do that? You mean in the Dark Zone?
Yeah, in the DC. So
if it's
the enemies.
if it's bracketed by Dark Zone rank, though, how are they going to have because you could have two people at different gear scores in the same Dark Zone level.
Well, it's the scaling system they have. So, for example, let's say if you're in, let's say your level right now, for example, me, I am level 68. Once I hit 75, it should lock me into a bracket, that level 75 bracket, because I have a number of weapons available and armor that are available to me that are not available to anyone else below me. Okay, so what happens? Yes, bracket? I know that when you die, you lose Dark Zone rank, but this is why I'm saying they should lock you to that Dark Zone rank.
Right.
All right, because here's the problem with the gear
below, just keep you locked to that.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep you locked at 75. Basically, that'll be your 0. So go up from there, because here's the one problem with the with basing it off a gear score. What stops anyone from just going and this is what you have to think, because unless you're actually checking the entire account, going not only through the stash but going through all the characters you have on that account, here's a loophole to that gear score. So you have a character that's a let's say 2-0 change. Let's say this guy's bored, so you know what, I'm gonna go stomp on the lower level guys. All he has to do is put that in his stash, have a level 4 character, take the items out of the stash, put it on the character, and that's it.
Yep.
So that automatically bumps you down from a level 200 gear score or a gear score 200 down to something below.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that they're saying, well, I'm sorry, go ahead, Sean.
I was saying, I get how all that works. I just wasn't sure what you meant on how they would scale the enemies.
All right. So this enemies, for example, let's say 161 enemies are, that's a level 161 gear score. It puts you, basically makes you level 31.
Okay, but are you talking like in the Dark Zone? So are you talking double brackets? Because you're already bracketed in this, like, say 75 to 90 Dark Zone rank bracket, but your gear score is then going to determine what level the enemies are?
Well, that's why, and this is the problem, like you mentioned. That is the one problem with the gear score earlier, that they're really, it's just kind of odd. That gear score as it is, it's just kind of off. That has to be tweaked to some degree. Obviously, I'm here talking, out of my rear end, but that's my opinion as far as bracketing the Dark Zone, which will not allow the higher level players to stomp on the lower level players, which is a problem that they're having. People get out of the Dark Zone because they're being melted in 2 seconds. Okay? So I would, if it was me, I would find a way to, okay, how can we separate these tiers of players first? And then whatever magic they want to work to get enemies once you hit. I mean, think about this. If you have a level 75 Dark Zone score, I'm sorry, a DZ rank, you're pretty damn close, if not over, a gear score 200. That's that's just a fact. All right.
If not, something's wrong.
Yeah. So one thing should be tied with another, unless they want to say, okay, a DZ 75, you got its gear score 200, and then you lock it that way. You see where I'm getting at? So it's just multiple things, but it's just that the gear score itself is such a dubious number. It's very vague. It doesn't determine a lot. I see where they're trying to go with it, but it's just that still has to get tweaked.
Well, not only that, but like a lot of time, like I could be a higher gear score, but my lower gear score gear is actually better than the higher gear score gear. It's not really.
Yeah. I can appreciate the fact that of what they're doing, because it actually makes sense. If you have a higher gear score, okay, so now they're dropping higher level enemies. Enemies have a higher chance of dropping better loot.
Yeah.
That's fine. Which it's what we've been covering, and a lot of people around the community have covered, is that there has to be something done about the loot. Because it's impossible that you're running around DZ06, killing a name boss at DZ06, and you get a 163 item.
Right.
It's just.
Well, and it does seem like they're starting to move towards that Diablo loot with this 1.2. Yeah. So they say, because but that's why it's a new hope, and not like, oh, it's fixed.
Hope, yes.
But it's a new hope. Hopefully they do it right this time.
Yeah, but that's basically my rant with the DZ. That's my main bone to pick, because that's a very salty point with a lot of people. them not being in the dark zone's not fun. They're being melted by higher level guys, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
they've
part of
got
my
to.
thing. It's like I've done the incursion, not the challenge mode, but whatever. So I don't feel a huge pull to go do that horde mode again. Although I would if there was a few other people on that wanted to do it, sure. But the dark zone, I'm like, I just hit level 50 before, and now it's like 75 is so far away, and I don't feel like grinding when I'm probably just gonna get, steamrolled every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. It's funny. One thing you mentioned about the this week, I told you before the show that I went I went into the challenge mode, and my man, I don't know how that APC. I noticed one thing: the APC it shoots off whatever it's mortar or it's missile, whatever hell it shoots. Right? We're in the top room because we're trying to clear out the rushers before we jump down. Okay. It shoots this mortar. You see the flames come up. The flames go away. Now, when I run across, there's no flames there, and then I die.
But it was, yeah.
It's like invisible flames.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
The graphic was gone, but the
basically
effect was there.
So I hope that's a thing that they're looking into, because that was just bad.
Might have been some lag. Yeah, it sounds like lag to me.
I don't know,
So,
but
but
we'll blame it on the lag.
That whole thing.
We'll blame it on the lag. Yeah, but you know what? That APC shooting every 10 freaking seconds, I don't know. That's insane, dude. I mean, I don't mind the difficulty of the enemies now that they actually fixed the protection from elites, so you can kind of work around that, but still, It's just that mortar shot, man, every 10 seconds or every so often, it's like back to back to back to back.
What I really don't like about that mortar shot, too, is it forces you to go down those stairs and hide in that hole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it should be, taking cover and moving around, but, like I said, we've talked about all that.
Only one strategy really works other than the bugged ones previously.
Yeah. So, but at least with the hard mode and challenge missions and incursions, will drop better loot, so the activities are more rewarding in the future. And I hope it's not just better loot. I hope it's more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can get, sure, you get the set pieces, I guess, but even doing a hard mode incursion takes 45 minutes probably, if you're not geared up. And
yeah, it took about 45 minutes when we did it.
Yeah. You could do Lexington Event Center 2, maybe even 3 times in the time it takes to do an incursion, and get, like more loot.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I can see where they want specific loot dropping out of the incursion. I can see that because it actually forces people to go through the content, to get probably specific weapons. But definitely the gear sets, the way they're dropping left and right. I mean, let's say one specific piece drops out of the incursion. Like that, people go and do the incursion. I can understand that, but...
I'm surprised they didn't do any sort of... I mean, since they did call it a raid-type activity, that they didn't do any drop locking. Like they have... You get that one extra bonus once a week, I guess.
Yeah.
But then every time, but the boss still drops one every time. I mean, I do like that you get something if you do it again, but I don't think they should have done gear sets. So that if you, it's too much like if you just farm stuff, you can gear up way faster than the casuals.
Yeah.
Lock something to once a week, you can get this. But if they fix loot drops or just tons of loot drops, then maybe
that'll fix everything.
Compensate.
Or a good chunk of it, at least.
That's the new
So,
hope.
Mike, what's your thought? You've been pretty quiet over there. Contemplating.
I haven't played much over the last week or so. Lots of life happening. But I mean, it's honestly, I'm just going to be completely frank. It's discouraging. Like a lot of the issues with the game right now are just very discouraging for me. I don't have a lot of time to play. I did love this game and hope to love it again. I'm hoping that they fix this stuff sooner rather than later, and then release the first actual paid expansion. with something that actually does resemble a raid to a certain degree, with some kind of story progression and multi-room action. You know, even if it's two rooms would be great, because then you know. No, it really wouldn't. We need more than that. I always kind of go back into what was the least successful of the expansions for Destiny, and that was probably I don't know, from my experience of it anyway, regardless of numbers, it's probably House of Wolves, and it was like the raid itself was one room.
Well, it's not called a raid. It was a horde mode.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh yeah, like PoE. But at least they sold it as PoE.
PoE.
They didn't call it a raid.
Yeah, they didn't sell it as.
No, I know there was no deception there, which is better marginally, but it's
they did have a few different rooms.
Yes, there's 5 different rooms.
Yeah.
No, well, not really.
Yeah, but they're all basically they're all the same arena.
All the same room. Yeah. It's like the holodeck in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, I'm gonna go to Rigel.
Wasn't great that time around, but it's much better now.
That's cool. It's not really why I brought it up. It's just a point of comparison, and I really need for things to get better to really want to be able to like play this game. I'm not going to force myself because I have a show about it. It's just not going to happen. I don't do things that I don't want to do. It's just maybe
you're not the boss of me.
I'll follow the social media and stuff, but I haven't played in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Follow with what's going on, and I will when 1.2 drops. I will absolutely get back into it for at least a week or two or whatever. See what's see how it is.
Yeah.
But until then, I mean, I feel like nothing's really changed. A couple little patch fixes, but
no, there really hasn't been.
Shango is saying that Crota's End as well from Destiny was only 3 rooms. Like, well, yeah, I kind of enjoyed Crota's End though, even though it was only 3 rooms.
It's definitely the least successful of their raids, Crota's End. But yeah, there was a lot more to it. Even though it only had 3 rooms, there was more to it than 15 waves in one room.
Yeah, I really liked the dark room actually, the first room when it first came out, because it was legitimately challenging.
Yep.
right off the start.
Yeah.
Not to say that the incursion is not challenging. It's very challenging. It's just it's one thing that you do, and you go into the middle.
And we talked mechanics. It needs mechanics.
It needs mechanics.
There's plenty you can do with current day, real life, in making different mechanics. So
yes.
I experience fatigue going in there now. You know, like you go down there and you sit down there and you just do the same shit over and over again, and it's just like, why? No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'll do it. I'll do it with some friends that they want to get some gear, so I'll just hop in there. As long as I'm playing with somebody, with friends, it's fine. I really don't mind it, but I'm not out there searching on my own. Like, okay, let me go do an incursion. No, it's just not happening. Same thing with Destiny. You guys have been playing the hell out of PoE, but it's just for me, since I really did a lot of PoE. I mean, hell, I sank a lot of hours into Destiny. So it's just PoE again, regardless of the changes that they made. It's just not appealing to me, to be honest with you.
It's not all that appealing to me either.
Yeah, if you guys tell me, hey, yeah.
I played the first piece of it.
Go ahead, Mike.
Sorry, Julio. I played the first. I haven't played the challenge of Elders or whatever it's called. I played the easier mode that they got you back into, and it was still like, it was like, let's play this, but with Taken. And I'm like, I don't want to play against the Taken ever.
You need to try the challenge mode. I find the challenge mode a lot more fun, and they do different things every week. So like this week it's points based, right? So you're trying to score as many points as you can as a group, which makes it kind of fun. This week it's super kills give you extra points. Last week it was melee kills, so you'd shoot them a couple times in the body and then try to kill them with the melee for more points. Week before was grenades, and they also had that fast grenade gen, but I don't want to talk too much. We're going down a Destiny hole. I don't want to do that to people.
No, but it's just Mike was saying.
It's a valid point of comparison.
Yeah, it's just the replayability of the game. Yeah. It's what Mike's saying. Look, it really doesn't appeal to him to sit down and do an incursion, or sit down and play PoE and Destiny. Same way to me. It's just the replayability. Which they did mention something about. Hamish mentioned something about the PvE area is going to be getting some love. What that means, I don't know. Hopefully something good. Because you've got this.
Any sort of hint at what that is would be great.
Yeah,
Because unfortunately, at this point, I don't trust anything they say. Like from the marketing side and that stuff, yeah. I don't know.
Well, remember, the marketers always want to separate you from your money, and they already separated us from our money.
So it's like
They're not making any more money from me.
Not making any more money.
They already paid.
But
for the
you have a lot of people have brought this up. You have such a big PvE world out there, and it's just barren. You know, give people an incentive to go out into that area and do whatever.
I just worry that their revamp of the PvE is like, oh, now the world boss, guys that roam around are respawned every week.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? One thing I was actually
that's not enough.
Yeah. You know what's one thought I had for PvP actually, because it's again, it's another problem with people saying, people getting melted on PvE or whatever. You know what would actually eliminate the whole situation with bracketing as far as DZ level goes or DZ rank goes? Normalizing PvP.
Yeah.
Okay. That is, they have to normalize PvP to some degree where no matter, obviously, if you have an SMG, you get more shots on a target, you're going to do more damage. That's a no-brainer. Okay. But it shouldn't be based, let's say, for example, each character, how can I say this? It should not be based off of what you're wearing. Okay, so it should be normalized.
It should be normalized. You should,
It should be more. The fight should be more tactical, and as far as the engagements are concerned. And it's just freaking. It becomes, and yeah, we all do it. Okay, we all pop Survivor Link, whatever. But it's just notice how crutch of a super that is. That's what's gonna turn the tide of a battle. Then 2 people pop Survivor Link, and then you're back to square one. So.
Yeah,
that'll
I would love
actually
to see normalization on the PvP.
Yeah,
that would be fantastic. And even you have more gear. You have your skills are going to hit a little stronger. Maybe your weapon still hits a little harder on. But take out a lot of the factors on the.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just no way that it's just no reason why anyone should be melted in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
By one guy. It's just not. It's just
not
to me it's
tactical shooter.
No. It's just like, no. No, that definitely needs to be looked at as well.
That's interesting. That brings up an interesting idea for me too, and that's giving bonuses to group play. Yes, you get some bonuses from the set piece stuff that affects the group on large, and there are certain talents that affect the group overall. But shouldn't there be some kind of cumulative advantage to having a full group, or 1 and 2 players? Oh, you get this much better. Other than having the extra firepower, etc., and making it much more group-oriented. Your group's armor as individuals, by being in a group of 4, you end up with 40% armor or something. You know what I mean? I'm throwing out random stuff in my head here, but
no, you know what that actually would be good for? If there's actually like a gear set that has a group talent. So you're in a group.
The gear sets.
Gear sets. So it'll activate.
No, I did say that earlier. Yeah. But
okay.
What I worry about there, though, is that it's already bad enough for like a solo or 2 players to go into the dark zone. You know what I mean? I would almost want to make it the other way around. What if you go solo into the dark zone? What if you get that?
But you just talked about how one guy can melt a guy in 2 seconds.
Yeah, but to me that's a separate issue.
Yeah, that's about
because
the whole
a lot of those guys
that
one guy can melt a guy in 2 seconds. They're all running around in groups of 4 or more anyway. So now you're just making that guy even stronger.
Even stronger, yeah.
What if you get, but like a lone wanderer perk, like Fallout,
Yeah.
If you go in solo, you get a armor buff. And this is after everything needs to be normalized or whatever they need to do, get you in the right brackets, whatever.
Yeah, as it is, the one problem is
that can just melt you.
Correct. As it is, the one problem is to say, for example, somebody can come up behind you and unload on you with a vector, and you're done before you even have a chance to react. So normalizing would actually help fix that problem we have, because people shoot you a few times, fine, they try to bait you, but if somebody pulls up behind you or in front of you with a vector, they just point that vector right on your head, pull that trigger, you're done in 2 seconds before they even go rogue.
In that one case, if they sneak up behind you, I'm actually okay with that. That's like a stealth kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't see him coming,
Yeah,
that's kind of your fault.
But no, it is. But even then,
But if
even
they
if
come
they're
up in
looking
front
straight
of
at you,
straight at you, that's a problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, there's
You
no
should have
chance for
some
you to
time to-
react.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah, there's a few things. To be fair, in their defense, this is a new game type. There's really nothing like it out there. So yes, it's growing pains. There's a lot of things that have to be fixed. Kind of normalization would definitely be something to start off with, just to get that off the bat.
So I
And
think,
then fix it from there.
Just to move this along, so we don't start
Yeah.
going in circles. The last thing was that all the Dark Zone brackets are going to get better loot, so that you can gear up your character better, and more gear set drops from the supply drops in the Dark Zone. That'll be nice too, because that's the one
That'll
thing
be
they
good.
added to the Dark Zone. Everybody was all excited about that, and then we went and did it, and it was like, I got a purple and a green or something. Like what?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
other thing we've talked about before too, they need to change with that is you need to make it so that you have to eliminate all the enemies to be able to open the box, or at least kill the boss and pick up something off him to, a key to open the thing.
Yeah.
Something.
I like the kill all the enemies piece of it. I
Yeah,
think
kill all the
that
enemies.
works
It's killing the
best.
boss, yeah. Kill all the. You know what they did? One thing they did mention also,
Make it
They did.
interrupt.
they put a remark when they were talking about the supply drops, that you are going to fight for this. So, what that meant, I don't know.
Yeah, they said
Okay,
we
cool.
were gonna fight for it in the.
For
That
the
was the
drop,
very
for the
first-
supply drops, he goes, you will be fighting for the supply drops. So
That's what
Yeah,
they
what
said
that
when it
means.
first
Saying
came
it's
out. I don't.
When it first came
Yeah,
out,
I
that's
know.
exactly what was said.
So I wonder if it's
Did they re-say that?
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
maybe
Cool.
they're tweaking that, whatever it is.
Yeah, they're tweaking
That's
that. They have to tweak that as it is. Like you mentioned, it's absurd. We mentioned this last week. You pop a survivor link, go in there, pop the chest, and you're out. No, dude, you shouldn't be able to do that. If there's a group engaging, somebody comes behind and just, you're like a freaking jackal, dude. That's all you do.
Yeah.
It's like watching Discovery Channel all over again.
So.
All right.
How about a quick tip of the week?
Okay.
That's it.
What's your tip for this week, Sean?
If you burned out, just go play something else, but come back and check out 1.2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's my tip of the week.
that's a good
Don't
tip.
worry about
That's just the tip for sure.
Yeah. That's a good tip.
All right, so let's move on to shoutouts from the Dark Zone. Just a quick reminder before we do that, though, if you have any questions, please get them in on our Twitch stream in the comment section. That's twitch.tv/Into the Dark Zone. All right, take it away, Julio.
All right. Shout out to mognation.com. That's our family over there. Give them a quick look. See if you guys play any other games. Jump in there. We got people that are playing Star Citizen, BDO, Black Desert Online, World of Warcraft, you name it. They're playing it.
Lots of things.
Yeah, Mog PSN. That's a little group there. A little sub-mock group. That's all our friends, buddies. Even if you have an Xbox, do we have an Xbox group, or is just everybody transition over to PS4?
Yeah. When I had an Xbox, we had an Xbox group. When I traded it in for the
man.
PS4 because it kept breaking on
So-
me. Now we have a PS4.
Yeah, we
group.
still love the Xbox players. That's okay. But
Oh, yeah.
anyway, the Division forums and the Discord, guys, jump in there. A bunch of great people in there. Chat's always busy in there with people, theory crafting, looking for group, and doing everything else. I'm gonna give another shout out to the divisionlfg.com and .org, two different LFG sites, just in case you have to go out of game to find a group. That's a good way to go.
Shout out to
and
our
my buddy.
viewers too, our Twitch viewers that keep coming back every week. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Thank you
gonna
so much.
get
Sorry.
to that. Yes,
Well, you didn't
our
write it
Twitch
down,
viewers we have some brand new followers. We actually, you know what, I failed to mention a few weeks back. We actually had Ubisoft friends follow us on the
Oh, wow.
Twitters. Yeah, so that's something.
Neat.
I gotta see if there's a check marker next to it. I don't know if it's the authentic one or not, but it's there. Shout outs to got a buddy of mine from Australia, from the land down under. We play Eve Online. I actually subbed to Eve. No, it's not gonna consume me. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Anyway, Dark Star, Damien, we're gonna build that citadel, but don't worry about it. In the wormhole. And for the Twitch folks, of course. So that's our shout outs for this week.
All right.
Okay, great. Let's move on to our social media Q&A then. Do we have any questions, Sean?
Yeah, we had one question I saw on Twitter earlier was, do we regret buying the season pass?
No.
No, not really. I mean, we can't sit here and
Yeah.
like they say, armchair quarterback this thing,
Yeah.
So I can see some people, I'm fine.
I can't say I'm not
I don't
concerned. On the other hand, just the amount of fun I had in the first month, like getting to 30 and the story and gathering all the intel, there was some amazing intel stuff to find out there. Just the cell phone voicemails and just echoes that hit you in the feels. This is an amazing game, and if it was a single player game, or just take out the Dark Zone or whatever in the incursions, but just leveling through, if it was like an Uncharted type game, or just here's the game, you play through it, and that's that, everybody would be like, wow, that was fantastic. Because they're trying to make it a play all the time game. This is when the concerns seem to start coming in, right? But I feel like I've gotten my money worth, even for the $100. I've paid $60 for games that I played way less than I played The Division already, when I was enjoying it and was not disappointed. So
yeah, I mean, it's just about managing expectations, right?
Yeah.
It's the separation, as we've said many times, between the marketing department and the programming department.
Yeah.
We need more that to be more conducive at this point. But no, by no means am I. I don't have any buyer's regret over paying the extra $40 to be able to play. Actually, it's $50 up here, and the game has given back already. Even though I haven't played it a lot recently, I'm not worried about it. There's still a lot of time to redeem themselves anyway.
Yeah, correct.
Don't take your time too much, but there are planned expansions that are going to come along the way, and I'm sure they're going to resolve most of the issues before they actually drop. And there will be new issues that arise as a result of those patches anyway. So this isn't the last negative thing that happens.
Yeah.
Either, but no buyer's regret here anyway.
Yep, same here.
And then
Just
we
like
had
you said, Mike.
a Twitch question from Carodius. Why are we so awesome?
Tongue face. I can speak for myself. I can speak for myself. It's because I'm Canadian, and this is the greatest country in the world. So.
And then here we go. And then Sean, then we can say that's because we're American. But then that's not gonna be very well taken around the world if we say that.
Yeah. True.
But no.
Nobody likes you. Nobody likes
I don't know.
you.
Yeah, it's not because I'm American. It's because I'm from Boston.
Listen, Boston.
You're from the coast. You're from outside of Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm awesome because I'm from Florida. So any crazy thing that happens, just find the Florida connection. Okay.
Yeah, Sean, can you do me a favor?
There's a morning show I listen to on the radio up here that has almost every day a fun news story from Florida. They call it Florida, not like the rest of us, and just the stuff that happens down there. Oh my God.
Hey, Sean,
It's
can you
got
do
some
me a big
interesting,
favor though?
cracked out people. Sorry, what was you gonna say, Mike?
Will you do me a favor? Will you say chowder, please?
Chowder?
Oh, come on.
Chowder?
That's not right. Chowder.
Love me some clam chowder.
Chowder.
I was watching Good Will Hunting the other day with a wife, and I saw Matt Damon and Ben Affleck with their old Boston accent there.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
I like that movie, but as two people from Boston that can't do a Boston accent, like that's so messed up.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
I think we've gotten through all the Q&A. Let's see. We have our next section, which is the other new games, a brief. So we're just going to go over a couple of games that we find notable that are either coming out or are being previewed. And I know, Sean, you're really excited for the first one we
Yes.
have on the list here. Uncharted 4?
Yes.
Right.
I don't. What should I say? I've been avoiding spoilers, but I did see there was like a. I think it was a GameSpot review. Gave it a 10.
Hmm.
Didn't read through the whole thing. I just kind of looked at read like the first paragraph and skipped to the score because I don't want to. Even though it said no spoilers, I'm still not going to read through
Don't
the whole
tempt it.
thing just because I just want
Yeah.
to come in totally like blank.
Yeah, Uncharted is just such a great game.
Yeah.
And this
All
is
those
coming from
games.
somebody who hasn't played all of them. I actually
Mhm.
had it when I bought my other PS4. So I went through part 1 already. I'm working on part 2. Whenever I get
Awesome.
around to
I
that.
think part 2 is my favorite of the first 3. They're all great, but just
Yeah.
like story wise and stuff. But they're all fantastic games. And this one is just looking amazing. And some of the graphics, have you seen some of the screenshots? Like
Mm.
I actually
Oh, it's beautiful.
I showed Elisa one just short like 10-second clip of Nathan, the main guy, like just making the face or whatever, or looking up and changing facial
Mhm.
expression. And she's like, what are you showing me this guy for?" I was like,
He's a handsome guy.
I was like, well, I said, but she thought it was an actor. She thought it was a real guy. She was like, "That's
Yeah,
CG."
nice.
She's like, "What?"
He's
Because
a handsome
the
feller.
micro expressions and everything. It's
Yeah.
incredible. So yeah, I can't wait to play that Tuesday. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds really fun. I've not played the Uncharted series. I played part 1 for a bit, and I kind of went off and did something else. But I know they're really good games overall, and people love them. So I'm glad that they've made. This is supposed to be the final one, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
I
you
mean,
need to play
Nathan,
Last of Us too, because Last of Us is like the best
I own
game
it.
ever.
The
I own
Last
it,
of Us.
and
Story-wise,
I got it
wow.
with the system, but I didn't finish. I
You need to
played
play that.
Yeah.
half an
You have to
hour,
play that.
was a little moved, had a little like face rain,
Yeah.
and then I put it down. But I'll pick it back up because I do own it.
Yeah, they
Um,
hit it pretty hard at the start.
Yeah.
the
That's really good.
the next game we have up here though is the Overwatch beta, which I just downloaded. I'm looking. It's done. Yay! I get to play. Have you had a chance to play yet, Sean?
No. Nope.
No?
I downloaded it through the PlayStation Store online. Told it to download to my PlayStation. My PlayStation has not been turned on since Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. The other day I came home and I did some Challenge of Elders with a few of the Mog PSN folks, and that's the only time I've played in the last week. So, as soon as we get off here, though, I think Mike and I are going to check that out. If we
Yeah,
get off soon enough.
we get off soon enough for sure. I know Tarkle has played. Our friend in Mog Nation, my good friend who's coming to visit me from Brazil in June. He's played. He played yesterday, and he said it's really awesome. So I'm looking forward to trying it out. But last but not least, we do have a trailer that's out there right now, and that is for Battlefield 1, the new Battlefield game.
Which is
I
Battlefield
just watched
5. They name.
it. It is. But they're
Yeah.
calling it Battlefield
I like
1
it.
because it's
Yeah.
World War. It's World War 1.
Yeah.
So period piece that really would get Sean going because he loves the history.
Yeah, I do like the old
Mhm.
shooters.
Yeah. I saw the preview and it looks amazing. Obviously, it's not a gameplay trailer, but it's for full cinematic. Get your blood flowing. It looks really
Mhm.
good, and the Battlefield games overall are really really good. Even Hardline was great.
I love the
Yeah.
Hardline the storyline and stuff.
The storyline was awesome. I
Great
loved it.
Hardline.
Yep.
And I think that I don't know, just people. I think just Battlefield 4 was so good that everybody was like, "Ah, this is cool," but I'm gonna go back to Battlefield 4 for my PvP.
Especially after they fixed it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I am very excited for that game, and just some of the
Yeah.
stuff like I saw an article too that was talking about how you're gonna have like you could be flying a bomber or your buddy's flying a bomber, and you can fly a support and have maybe your guy in the back with the machine gun in there, and just
Yeah.
all sorts of options.
Which is awesome because it's a whole Battlefield. If you play Battlefield, any other Battlefield series, I have to say Battlefield 4, the most recent one, it's the whole concept, about getting one person piloting, another person operating turrets, another person operating something else, which is great. And that's why the Battlefield franchise is, such a hit whenever it comes out.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
just
be a lot of
remember
fun.
how big the levels were. Like when I
Yeah.
first played Battlefield 3, for instance. Yeah, or Battlefield 2 even. The levels are immense, and
Yeah, they're
yeah,
huge.
that's something I'm looking forward to playing. I'll definitely be picking up Battlefield 1 when it
Yeah,
comes out. I'm
Battlefield
sure you
definitely.
guys.
Yeah, yeah.
In
Oh
fact,
yeah.
you guys started playing together through Battlefield, didn't you?
Um,
Well, we
what did we?
spoke
Nah,
about
pretty
it, but
much
Sean.
Destiny.
Yeah, we
Okay.
started from Destiny. Sean had Battlefield, but he had it for the PC
Okay, so
No, no,
maybe when I.
Xbox One. Because
or
I had the
Xbox One.
Yeah.
Xbox
Sorry.
One, and
Yeah,
I bought
yeah,
the
yeah.
Premier, you know, the whatever the expensive one and everything, and when I switched over to PS4, I was like, I'd already played it a bunch, and I was, you know, I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
just buy the base game and not have the stuff, and I was like, I can't throw another like $100, and
Yeah.
I've already spent $100 on it, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Plus, we never, you know, you guys didn't play it a lot at that point either, but
Oh man, because we played the hell out of Battlefield. That's for sure. At least I
yeah,
did. I know
yeah, you
Kenny.
did
Kenny.
before. A couple of times you guys would go to play that, but I mean, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
Dom. I
I
know
sw-
Dom, Barbaroja, myself. I mean, we played
Barbaroja.
Battlefield. Barbaroja. Yeah, we played
Yeah.
Battlefield for some time.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun though, for sure.
So just one last comment on the Battlefield 1. The other thing I saw that sounded interesting was the campaign mode. They said is going to be open like the PvP maps and stuff are. So instead of whereas before all the campaign modes have been very story, you know, go down this path like other shooters, you know, it's like
Yeah.
not a lot of options. Now it's I guess it's going to be the wide open like Battlefield and you can do whatever you want. I wonder if they'll do co-op too.
Yeah, that would be
Cool.
cool.
Yeah, I'd like that. All right, well, let's move on to final thoughts. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to talk about before we ended the show? Or
I'm
the
good this
episode?
week. That's
I'm good. We're good. We covered quite a bit. I ranted quite too long, so I'm good.
Julio and his rants. All right.
I'm a very emotional person, man. You know, I'm.
Wow. All right. So
Anyway.
moving on, we'll. Okay, well, that's our show. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Twitch, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and of course, check out our website, intothedarkzone.com. You can also send us feedback via any of these sources. Also, tune in next week on Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next live show. All right, everybody say goodbye. See ya.
Goodbye.
Thanks for being here.
Adios.
Thanks for
Thanks
listening.
for watching.